Hey guys, today we're going to be taking a look at the rank 3 player on the West server right now. This guy is a challenger player and has about 1,253 points while also playing a very interesting champion, guys. Something that you don't see that much nowadays, which is Urgot. This guy is completely destroying solo queue with Urgot right now. So with that being said, guys, we're going to be taking a look at this guy, how he carries himself on Urgot, how he carries his games, and ultimately how he gets to like 1,000 points playing with Urgot. So with that being said, guys, let's get started. Now, quickly going over the runes of him playing Urgot. He likes to play Urgot with Press the Attack. It's his main keystone. He also plays with Triumph, with Tenacity, with Last Stand, Bone Plating, with Overgrowth, and also taking 2 points into AD and 1 point into Armor. Now that's currently the setup of how he plays Urgot. He pretty much does this almost every game. Now let's actually see the way how he carries himself. So starting off with the level 1, let's see if he gets a kill. Actually, that Aatrox gets caught so easily. Probably like didn't watch very well. That's a really good start for him too, getting the assist for the lane. Now, as far as the starter item of this guy, he likes to play Dorn Shield, especially into matchups that poke a lot. So, for instance, Aatrox is a matchup that pokes a lot through Qs, right? Now, in a matchup where, what I always say is like, if you're playing into a matchup which is melee and it has a lot of poke, you want to pick a Dorn Shield. If you play into a matchup like Cannon, Quinn, Jace, or anything like that, make sure to pick Dorn Shield. If you're playing into a matchup that doesn't really poke as much, or just, you know, it's all like anything except from poke, just go for a Dorn Blade. That's typically what you want to do. Okay, so let's see how this guy plays. Let's see how he carries himself. He's not really pushing the lane at all. He's kind of like keeping the lane in the center of the lane, but he does poke Aatrox. So every time Aatrox goes for a CS, he tries to like pull like an auto on him. He also very slowly take the pressure in this matchup, but does not necessarily push it very hard. He's also using his Q to like farm the creeps, to be on the safe side, so he does not actually get hit by the Aatrox Q. The trick in this matchup is like kind of sidestep Aatrox Qs. It's pretty hard to pull off if you're playing a champion like Urgot. Now this was a very smart way of how he wanted to get the kill level 3. He went for the push. As soon as he got to level 3, he immediately went for the all-in and tried to get an E off so he could get a kill level 3. Maybe it did not work, but this is a very smart way of getting a lead early on. Even if you don't get a kill, even if you only get like damage off, it's still going to be worth. Now, besides maybe not having to kill an Aatrox, he does actually have the pressure in the lane right now. So if Lee Sin decides to eventually go for the camp in the river, he can just follow up. The same thing applies for teleporting around the map. If you actually get the pressure in the lane, especially around level 3, you can either like help out your jungler through the pressure, or you could even go for a TP and possibly even help out bot lane too. And it looks like here like Aatrox trying to pull off the exact same thing. Urgot just went back to base. Aatrox went for the TP and did the exact same thing as well. So far, let's see what's going to happen. So far, Aatrox has got his 1 kill right now. The lane does get pushed in by Nidalee right now, so he doesn't get to freeze this. But the lane is standing pretty good. Like, after Urgot uses teleport, he did not lose any farm. So he did not fall behind in terms of creeps. That's good for him. He teleported on such a timing where he would not lose any creeps. Farming on our turret on Urgot is probably one of the hardest things, in my opinion. If you're kind of like unlucky, you're going to be missing a lot of farm on the turret. This guy does not push at all. He's trying to like slowly build up the creep wave so he can use that once again to get the pressure in the lane. This is extremely important, guys. If you want to get better in League, manipulating the waves, knowing when to push, or when to like build up a creep wave, these things really do matter if you want to climb in League. He needs to break the pressure from Aatrox. He needs to break the freeze elements. This is a pretty tough matchup for Urgot because Aatrox can technically hit a Q every single time. But despite this matchup, you know, despite him playing Urgot into Aatrox, he's doing like pretty decent so far, up to like 6 minutes. He's kind of looking around to see if where Nidalee is going to come from and goes for the plants. The thing is that Nidalee is currently missing around the map completely. So if Urgot decides to push into Aatrox, he will risk himself potentially dying by Nidalee. This is why he's not playing very aggressive at all, because the chances of Nidalee coming in is pretty likely. So this guy much rather just backing off, kind of like walking around the river and eventually take the plant to be back at full health. This guy does not risk that much at all. He's trying to like stay out of all the risks. But the thing about this matchup is like once Urgot actually hits an E, he could win the 1v1. He could win the trade pretty hard against Aatrox. Perhaps even go for the all-in. So, but so far, he hasn't been able to hit an E. He also saw the Nidalee before. Nidalee just shown top for like a couple seconds. He's even pinging for his teammates. He knows that Nidalee is around here right now. Aatrox is currently about 80% health, but he does not go in because he knows that Nidalee is here. Does not take any risks. Okay. He continues to back off. He doesn't want to risk anything against Nidalee. This is like this is something that you can also like track pretty easily. Like you can track junglers quite easily because, especially in a situation like this, bot lane currently has the pressure, mid lane has currently the pressure too. So there can really only be one place where Nidalee can be, which is topside. Sometimes you can track junglers based on where your teammates are. It's quite easy to tell where the jungler is going to be. Because for instance, let's say your teammates are having the pressure. If they don't get ganked by Nidalee, the chance is likely that the jungler is at you. So far, just playing it out very safely. He needs to back off very soon to buy his new items. His TP is about 80 seconds right now, so if he wants to stick for another wave, maybe a couple more waves, he will get his TP back eventually, and he could probably set up something for the lane. So the playstyle that Urgot has so far, he wants to play in such a way where he doesn't really risk anything against the junglers, against the enemy jungler. But Urgot, this guy also wants to take on the pressure and use that to like snowball the game, whether it's his TP or not. Lee Sin is coming in for a gank. What is he exactly gonna do? He's kind of like The interesting thing about this Urgot player is like Lee Sin came in for a gank for Aatrox, but despite Lee Sin coming in, this guy plays as if the jungler is not there. He plays like he's just pushing in the lane like nothing's happening, and then eventually uses his ultimate to catch the Aatrox. This is honestly a pretty smart way to play because generally like Aatrox would never expect a jungle gank if he plays like this. So the jungle gank was very successful. His first item is obviously going to be a Black Cleaver. This guy also likes to get the Executioner up against Aatrox early on in the game. Very understandable because Aatrox does have like quite a bit of healing. So getting in like an Executioner early on in the game is very important. The matchup is the matchup will eventually turn out into the favor for Urgot. It's just a matter of time. Now the good thing now is that Urgot also has teleport up, so he's going to try to get the pressure, get a good TP off, or in this case, he's just going to teleport bottom. He's kind of in a bad situation getting surrounded by the enemy team. The TP was not the best. Unfortunately, the teleport was pretty bad because the enemy team just shown up like afterwards. Once again, the teleport which wasn't very successful. Despite in the moment where he TP'd, it looked really good until the enemy team shown up. Now, rather than going back to base to go back top and farm out everything on our turret, this guy is just staying for bot lane right now. Very understandable because the dragon is currently spawned and they have to turn bot as well. So as long as he maintains the pressure in bot lane and then moves towards the dragon, this should be free for them. So far, like currently, like based on this game, the way how he plays is always around getting the pressure and around getting a good teleport off. If the jungler is missing around the map, this guy does not risk anything. It's like whenever the jungler shows up, he starts to play very aggressive. So he kind of like plays around that. He's also using the side lanes, pressuring, like pushing it out completely and then using it to roll once again. Instead of going back to base to buy his items, he's just moving top. So he's probably seeing like a really good gank right now. Maybe a couple catches.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
But doesn't go for it. It's too risky once again. So far, 13 minutes in the game, he hasn't really taken that many risks yet. He's just taking it very slowly. He's just taking it very, very relaxed. So far, the team is grouping up around top side. So the Ashe, Pansy, and Lee Sin are completely grouped up right there. Instead of going back to base, he's playing around his teammates, trying to like start a fight as 4. This is good because Vladimir is currently split pushing bot lane and he has teleport. So all that Urgot has to do is just once again push down the lane and then regroup with the team. His teammates are going down. They made a really bad mistake and they've all died. He doesn't even bother to go top to try and get a catch. He's just staying mid to continue to farm. He still doesn't go back to base yet, despite already having a lot of gold. He's just completely farming out to get the Black Cleaver instantly. His TP is still down 2. So he's going to have to continue the pressure soon. He's just going to take one more wave. and then probably go back afterwards. He has a ton of gold sitting in his inventory at the moment. There isn't really anything around the map right now. There is no dragon. They're kind of like both teams are just walking around. Not necessarily anything happening. He does see Aatrox in bot lane, and he takes that opportunity to take the turret down right now. So rather than going back to base to buy his item yet, he knows that the enemy team is all around bot and mid. So he takes the opportunity to get the turret for free, so he gets the next objective. Now he can go back to base and also have to go from the turret, instantly getting the Black Cleaver. And also like the next longsword for the next item. Like honestly, this is the way how he plays. He plays very coordinated. He sees a fight in mid. He knows Vladimir is currently bot lane with teleport, so Vladimir can come in anytime. So he goes mid right now to regroup with his team to stay as 4, so he can force another, yet again, like another fight, another objective. He sees that coming in. He can cancel him with E, but he hasn't used it. Okay. Instead of like regrouping with the team once more, he's going back top instantly so he can take up the next wave to stay farmed up. Even if the enemy mid is currently taking down the turrets and stuff, this is honestly very smart. This is probably the best moment for him to split top, because the dragon is spawning very, very soon. And his teleport is up at the moment. Okay, he's actually going to go back to base to proceed and buy his next item. Probably so he wants to get strong for the dragon. Despite having the pressure, having the push in top for the dragon, Urgot does go back to base to buy his next item for the dragon fight. So rather than TPing in and trying to force the 5 against 4, he just goes back to base to buy his item to ensure he's on his strongest. Gets the catch on the Aatrox and the Zed. Honestly, like, the way how he plays as Urgot, he doesn't necessarily, like, carry the game 1v9. It's just that, like, this champion, specifically, it's kind of, like, based around macro, around playing this game very, very smart. Outsmarting your opponents. Urgot as a champion does not necessarily have, like, any mechanical skill. You don't really need that many games to like pick up this champion, but this champion does require a lot of brain to potentially carry the game. And so far, the way how he plays as Urgot, he's really showing like he's trying to like teleport, trying to pressure, and continuously like trying to like build up a advantage over the enemy. And especially whenever like the enemy jungler is missing around the map, he doesn't take any risks. Completely no risks. Whenever the Nidalee is missing on the map, he walks off so far away, there's no way they could ever catch him, even if they try. Right now his teleport is up at the moment. There isn't really that much to do around the map, so he's going to back to base, probably to finish off his dad stance. Let's see. Yeah, he doesn't get to finish off the death stance yet. Urgot is completely massive right now. He's got about 4 kills. He hasn't made a single mistake yet this game. In terms of like, you know, big mistakes at least. The only mistakes made this game so far are the teleports. They were not the greatest. Tries to go for the catch on Needly, but it doesn't happen. No. You can't jump over the wall. He goes back to split pushing. He knows that his teleport is currently up. He knows he can just teleport into the team fight as soon as the team needs him. So obviously the best thing here, the best thing he could do is to split bot lane, pressuring out as much as possible. Hopefully get somebody to like farm up this wave here as well. He wanted to go back to base to finish off the death stance, but he's canceling it. He probably sees an opportunity. Zed is currently farming out bot lane while Urgot is trying to go for yet again another catch. And then gets the catch on that guy as well. Zed's gonna go down too. Urgot is quite literally just rolling over the enemy team. Yeah, very well played. Once again, they have an objective, they have the turret and the inhibitor. And the teleport of Urgot is still up. Now, most importantly, the wave of bot lane was being pushed in. So Zed was being forced to farm out this wave. While this was happening, Urgot went in to try and take the opportunity to force a fight in a 5 against 4 situation. And it was played perfectly. That team fight was very hard carried by Urgot, but also the team, of course. Goes in the TP to flank them from behind. Missed the ultimate though. Okay, perfect. Well played, teleport. He tries to get the other catch, but he just lets him go. He's going to save his teammates instead. He's not going to get it. Maybe he will. Leona's going to walk backwards. I think she could have probably been alive if she sidestepped the panting cues. He's looking to get the other catch on the Aphelios. You see how tanky he is, guys. He barely takes any damage right now. There's another TP coming in by the Aatrox. Aatrox barely does anything against him right now. He's on dominating right now. The dragon will spawn very soon. They already won the next team fight, so the dragon, the next one is going to be free for them as well. So you see, guys, playing Urgot kind of like sort of to perfection. You don't necessarily have to play like mechanical champions to carry the game. Even champions like Urgot, as long as you play very well coordinated, you try to like eliminate your mistakes as much as possible, you can carry games very hard. Alright, all they have to do right now is take the Baron and rotate top and bottom, and then win the game that way. They're already looking out to go Baron right now. They already have pushed in mid, so the only way for the enemy team to turn this game is to steal the Baron from the blue team. However, that's very unlikely because the jungler is currently ahead. Urgot also has 4 dragons already, so there's nothing that the enemy team can do right now. This game is an absolute win. Completely carried by Urgot so far in a good majority of the fights. There's only one thing left to do, and that's winning the next team fight. Even if Zed makes really good plays, Urgot's just gonna walk in. Takes down everybody. Nobody does any damage against Urgot at all. Urgot is quite literally just walking over everybody in this game. This is where the game is going to end. Anyways, guys, there is so much that we've seen about this Urgot player. There's so much, like he played really well. If you guys want to see like more challenger gameplay, but then from me, I'm a challenger player myself too. I play Riven a lot. If you guys want to see that, don't forget to check out my live stream, guys. I'm streaming like 6 times a week. But anyways, if you guys want to see, another player of me spectating, then don't forget to you know, leave a comment down in the description below. Make sure to like spam like it if you guys want to see him that badly. But anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys up in the next one. Peace.